Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on this show to talk about just doing NASCAR talk. It's probably one of my titles video because there's a few different things I want to get to. So, after what happened to end the season, the playoffs, where Larson won, I'm pretty sure he would have won under a full season. So I'm not going to say he was undeserving. It's just the way it ended, man. It's really tire roulette. And a blown tire and then a bad pit call decides the championship after a dominant day pretty much all day long. And really a pretty good playoffs for Denny. Larson ran consistent, but the thing is, NASCAR made this playoff format to reward winning. I don't think Larson won a race in the playoffs. He ain't consistent, but he didn't win a race. And what's NASCAR's, well, they have the playoffs? Well, reward winning. Just saying. Denny had about, 5 wins? No, Larson led a lot of laps this year, but still. And Zelich gets screwed out of the championship, because of course he does. I figured one of the two, and Heim or Zelich was going to get robbed. They got lucky Heim was able to go Superman. But after what I saw this week, I saw this poll on Twitter from Toby Christie, as every other poll. After what you saw this past weekend, what's your ideal 2026 championship format? Current playoffs, 2.6%. 4-race championship, 11.3%. 10-race chase, 26.5%. Full season format, 59.6%. So you have 2% of the fan base, according to this poll, of 3,000 votes, that want the current playoffs. Nearly 60% want the full season. What will NASCAR do? Oh yeah, they'll probably just keep the current playoffs or go to a four-race championship round. Full season points is always above 60% in every single poll I've ever seen of what people want. Naturally, NASCAR will fuck this up and go with the 11% option and tell us to be happy with it. It's like Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. It's not going to help anything. Full season or bust. I don't know if I want a 10-race chase because they're still going to have fucking playoffs. I'm pretty sure. I don't know how fucking it would work. But it's either full season or bust. I don't want a really not a single compromise more. I guess 10-race chase would be good, but it's either full season or 10-race chase. It's the only options. You can't just do 4-race championship ring, and that's not going to help it. It's not going to make it any better. At least in my opinion. That 2% for keeping the current playoff format comes from Mamba Smith and his alternate. Can't say no way 2% likes the current playoffs. It's like NASCAR says they listen to the fan base, but yet everybody says they want the full season points, and then NASCAR doesn't say shit. It seems they, I guess, listen, kinda. I'm not, just full season. My ideal NASCAR would be full season, no stages or stage points, no green, white checkers to get back to real racing. It would have been a huge bonus to scrap these Kit Kat cars and go back to real race cars. I guess 10-race chase maybe, but if 60% of the fan base wants full season, that's pretty telling what the fans want. Sorry. Full season with more points weighted to the winner. The race winner should never score less points than any other finisher, regardless of bonus or stage points. So that's what I gotta say on that. It took about 4 minutes. Just want to give my little opinion on that. Now that it's technically the off season, and then I want to get to the other thing I want to talk about. So Jeff Gluck put this tweet out, and I want to give my thoughts on it. So he asked, "Here's the question of the day for you. When I talk to people around the NASCAR industry, a lot of the conversations are about how you get the fan base ends. Everyone sees it, and this was well before everything boiled over on Sunday. So how does it get fixed? How does NASCAR move forward at this point in a way where a year from now the dialogue here is less vitriolic, and you guys are back to having more fun enjoying sport again, yada yada yada. What's your take? What will restore your enjoyment level? I'm all ears." Okay, in order of importance, for me, full season points in all 3 series, 1,000 horsepower, every Cup race on Network TV, and get trucks off Fox, get that shit off Fox, get to someone who will care. No overtime, longer practice sessions at all tracks, no digital mirrors, no scheduled cautions, 3-day weekends, 5-lug wheels, uncensored radios, and make fighting allowed again. Let these drivers, let them fucking fight it out. If they want to fight out, let them fucking fight it out. These are all in order. And just have longer practice sessions, like. I think everything from full season points to longer practice sessions are a must, as well as practice finally being televised again, because I actually want to watch practice. I mean, it's on True TV, I have True TV, but put it on every week. And some of those, two of those first three things eventually got to a point where I'm just thinking of things to get back to. I wasn't listing things to get back to, but rather things to strive to reach. I mean, these aren't really hard to reach. These aren't really hard things to reach for. The playoffs gone, eliminations gone, winning your end gone, get rid of that in-season tournament, stage breaks, overtime, let the drivers race the distance. However many laps, say if it's like 250 laps. If there's a caution, that ends the race, no overtime. I think the best thing for NASCAR to do is give the fans optimism that positive changes, significant ones, are around the corner. Fixing the next-gen car will take longer, but give us a roadmap. Target this whatever year to get it done. The Gen 7 car needs a makeover from the body and its components to the transmission, gears, wheels, tires, yada yada, and I've listed the other two things. But these are just some of my thoughts of what NASCAR needs to do. As a fan, I want simplicity. I want easy to understand racing. I'm sick and tired of having to explain convoluted racing, overtimes, stages, points, the DVP, tire drama. If I'm telling a casual fan, oh, the highest finishing driver wins the championship, and they don't know who's in the final four, they say wins, they're like, Blaney won the championship? You have to explain, no, it's the highest of the championship four won the championship. But when I show someone, if I showed someone NASCAR, they should be able to watch racing without a lecture on how it works. Me trying to explain the playoffs, overtime, stages, points. It's just so much to just explain to people. They even have to do on TV broadcast and re-explain it each week. It seems, and each week it seems, to try and dumb it down, thinking fans are too dumb to understand. And understand, but doesn't mean you have to like it. Next thing I want to get to. So, Regan Smith, I think, was on DBC, and he was talking about the smaller teams. He said small, independent, and teams at the back do not make the sport better. They're like, oh, he ain't wrong. He's not wrong. These people are going to kiss NASCAR's ass. The idea that Cup drivers running more Xfinity races will improve the talent of Xfinity drivers. Yeah, it sounds great until you realize it literally never has happened that way. I mean, maybe Justin Allgaier maybe makes the younger drivers around him better. That's probably literally it. I'm just talking about Cup drivers. Current Cup drivers need more Xfinity races. Will improve the talent of Xfinity drivers. Is it? Seems more just to get the Cup drivers' ego up. Kyle Busch. Kyle Larson. But I don't understand this burning need to make the Xfinity and Truck Series better with Cup guys at the cost of small teams. You just had your fourth straight Xfinity season where no driver finished last more than twice. The back of the field has become extremely competitive. But I have another idea. Why not just make the field bigger? Why don't you just make the fields bigger? There are those who think you need to earn a NASCAR at any level, and then there are those who think it should be open. Best of both worlds. 50 car fields, maybe 40, 43 car fields again. One idea I have is to get the Cup guys to drive for the smaller teams instead of the established teams. I don't want to see them in the fastest car lap the field. If they want to race, they have to race for a small team. They can't just go to a big team. We'll really see who the next hot shot is if they can beat the Cup guys. Yeah, like we aren't immediately coming off 2 guys winning 10 plus races, enhancing their stock to even higher levels, without Cup guys mostly running the races. So yeah, it's not going to help these other drivers. Having Cup guys in those 2 series doesn't make it better. If I want to watch the Cup series, I'll watch the Cup guys race on Sundays. Other than that, I'm trying to watch prospects that possibly could get maybe future Cup rides in the Xfinity. Regan Smith has some balls talking like this, considering how many of those teams he's referring to that he's driven for. Seems like he's forgotten who he's raced for and where he started. It's kind of disappointing to hear. He started his career and earned his way to the top series by racing for a decade with underfunded teams. It's pretty disappointing to hear from him, man. Pretty disappointing to hear. And then Jordan Bianchi. Oh, God. Jordan Bianchi. He wants the playoffs to say. Shocker. I know, right? He claims there aren't storylines without the playoffs. That's what he said. Not my words, it's what he said. Well, I have some few storylines here. He whines about storylines, but there's so many right there, and they just don't give a damn. I feel like Zane Smith had a pretty solid year. How can he keep improving? Same team? Noah had a shit year. Whether it was sometimes not running well or getting bad luck, what's his outlook? How's Connor Zell preparing for the Cup Series next year? His first full season. There's some storylines right there. How about the review of the 2025 season? The highs, the lows, the surprises? How about the new schedule for next year? There's just some storylines. And how about some anonymous quotes or survey of the current drivers getting their thoughts on a perfect season lane, full season versus playoff tracks that need to go, etc. Off-season plans. There's literally shit right there that I listed to you. If you can't come up with storylines of your own without the playoffs, maybe you shouldn't be a NASCAR journalist. Just saying. And Kevin Harvick also said this: let the stars be stars as NASCAR looks to change their championship format. He says the days of trying to make things fair for everyone is over. And I agree, let the stars be stars. I mean, it's been long enough of trying to make things fair for everyone. If someone runs off with a championship that has an elite season, they deserve it. But that's just me, though. I agree with Harvick. It's just me, though. I would say the same thing. Let the stars be stars. Need to have some damn superstars. Can't just have the playoffs every year. Ruin that. But the most popular period in the sport's history that saw consistent, steady growth was actually terrible because journalists weren't being spoon-fed manufactured storylines to write about. So are we supposed to value the opinions of journalists and corporate CEOs who have never sat in a race car once in their lives over the actual drivers, team owners, and fans? You got fucking Jeff Bianchi talking about, oh, the sport lacks storylines. If the sport you cover lacks storylines, perhaps that's a sign you're not doing your job well enough. When NASCAR was, quote, boring, it rose to levels never before seen. Once it decided to make it exciting, the car began to slide down the cliff. It's not an opinion. You look at the numbers. It's fact. It's been long enough. It's time. Formula One, IndyCar, IMSA, other racing, and all other journalists that cover motorsports with season-long point systems seem to be doing just fine. If you can't find storylines in full-season format, maybe you aren't a good enough journalist. Sorry. That's just the facts. Every other sport I see that with full-season points cover it just fine. He says the playoffs need to stay as a whole. It's more entertaining, more storylines. Not really. Fucking tired of any. I want full points, whatever. If you can't do your job without the bullshit the playoffs provide, then you're a hack sports journalist. But whatever. There's plenty of shit to talk about. Great drivers and teams, developing chemistry between driver and crew, potential turmoil in the garage. the struggle of the lower tier teams, field fillers, yada yada yada. But yeah, that's all to say here. Just a NASCAR yap session, I guess. But leave a like, come subscribe for more. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.